Kind of like what we were just talking about with Brax. Like you hear about how physically imposing Penn State's defense or offensive line is going to be. What goes through your mind when you see this challenge?
I mean, they're a lot bigger guys than we're used to, especially the competition that we've been playing, and a lot more physical, I'd say, and I'd probably say they're probably the best O-line that we have gone up against. And I mean, it's exciting. It's exciting to go against that type of competition and be able to really show that we have the abilities and the skill to go against whatever competition is in front of us.
For you yourself, I mean, you've proven so much this year and you've grown so much this year, but what's this opportunity, mean for you as well?
It's great. It's great to be able to have the opportunity to prove everybody wrong. I mean, you got people like we're the quote-unquote underdogs being in the Mountain West, and we don't play as good as competition as the other teams like Penn State, as you could say, or anybody could say. But I feel like just being able to prove people wrong and prove that we really can play against whoever and be able to dominate whoever we play, no matter what conference they're from.
Is there a physical difference that you guys notice in the trenches against a Big Ten team versus a Mountain West team?
I wouldn't say that much, really. I mean, the guys are a little bit bigger just because it's a bigger school and they're able to recruit bigger guys. But, I mean, in the trenches, the physicality is going to be on a 10 always, and it kind of just depends on the team, not necessarily the conference.
Braxton was talking to us about it a little bit earlier, but how much of a physical matchup is just the mental side and just powering through?
Mental side, it's pretty. I'd say it's difficult. I mean, Penn State has a lot of different schemes when it comes to running the ball, passing the ball, and I mean, mentally, it's just being able to hone in on what your job is and get your job done, no matter really what the play is that the offense is running, and just being able to get your job done and do your 1/11th.
You got dudes between you on the defensive line, but how much confidence do you and Ahmed have when you step on the field together?
I'd say we have a lot of confidence, being able to kind of play off of each other, and it's amazing. I mean, being able to have that skilled of a guy on the other side of the field it's amazing, and just being able to know that we can play off of each other like extremely well brings a lot of confidence to both of us for sure.
It seems like oftentimes there's the Batman when it comes to the defensive end pass rushing position, but then somebody else has to come along, and we kind of knew it was Ahmed, and then you came along. And then soon it's going to be that's going to be your role, and somebody else is going to come along. So how much do you just kind of live in the moment, realizing how special it is that you got two pretty good freaking dudes, on bookending this thing.
Just being able to really take a step back and look at the fact that I do have the opportunity to play with that type of player on the other side, and then kind of just live in the moment, be able to take pick from him, pick from his mind the different the experience that he's had, because he has more experience than me. He's played more, and then kind of just the different moves that he does, and then being able to have a player that has experience and talk to him during the game. For instance, what move worked on a certain offensive tackle earlier in the game, and kind of just being able to make in-game adjustments, and yeah.
What are your thoughts on the two Penn State running backs, Singleton and Allen, just kind of what they bring to this rushing game?
They bring a lot. I mean, being able to have a duo like that in the backfield makes it's definitely a big thing that we need to and we are practicing for. And I mean, it's exciting to be able to go against that type of competition in the backfield, and it should be fun.
What's stands out to you about Herb Jones?
Great. I love Herb. He's like Braxton, kind of like what Braxton was saying. He's kind of the heart of the defense. I mean, like you said, you got the linebackers for sure, but just the attitude, the personality, the vibe that Herb brings, it just brings everybody together. And I mean, just the way his work ethic, the way he comes to practice every day, whether that's him battling back from just bruises and bumps, whatever it is, and he's still working no matter what. Whether it's on the field or off the field, in the training room, after practice, getting his body better, or on the field during practice, or even on the field during games.
But Penn State's QB, Drew.
He's great. I mean, he's a big guy. That's one thing that we've been practicing for sure. He's a bigger guy. We need to be able to target lower for him because he got height on him, and he's got a lot of weight on him for sure. And he's great, and it's going to be a good competition for sure.
We hear about the offensive line being physical, and obviously they had a really good tight end. But I don't know, what are they capable of in the passing game with him at the trigger?
They're capable of a lot. I mean, starting with the offensive line, they're able to protect really well. They've only let up, I believe, around 7 sacks this season, and that says a lot. And then he's mobile. He can move around in the pocket and he can get out of the pocket just to throw the ball to get to the receivers because he's such a hard target to tackle. And then, I mean, he's great at hitting his targets and reading the defense.
Everybody wants to talk about like the shifts and the motions and eye control and stuff, but like we kind of think it's easier said than done. But like, what is the key there?
I mean, it's a lot. All the shifts and motions that they have is a lot, but like you said, it is easier said than done, but that is one thing that for sure we have been practicing and honing in on through the past couple weeks, and just knowing what the different motions, what the different shifts, whatever it is, and being able to know what our job is whenever that happens, and then being ready for it whenever it will happen.
I know it's different, but do you see similarities like when you have to go against your offense during fall camp and things like that? I mean, you guys have a physical offensive line, and you guys run the football, and you guys have shifts and motions on offense and things like that. So, I mean, is it any similarities there?
I'd say there's quite a few. I mean, our some of our coaches keep like hinting, or not hinting, but saying that a lot of the shifts and motions and the physicality is really close to our offense. It's probably one of the closest things we'll get to our offense, other than our offense, obviously. But just I feel like the shifts, the motions before basically every single play, and then just the physicality in the run game it's pretty close to our offense for sure.
You're out, Zoom.
Yep, we got 2. Boostro, start with you.
All right, Jayden, we talked about you and Ahmed in the pass rush, but I mean, there's a lot of depth there with Braxton, and I think Shea leaves the country in defensive backs with sacks. Just how nice is that to have so many guys who can get to the quarterback, as opposed to Penn State, who has I mean, they have a lot who have sacks, but outside of Carter, I mean, no one has more than 5.
I mean, it's great. It's great having multiple threats on defense that can rush the passer. Just like you said, Shea having the most sacks as a defensive back in the nation. It's just amazing that we have a defense coordinator that loves pressure, and it helps us out a lot for both the edges as well as the inside, having the safeties rushing, the corners rushing, and then also the linebackers blitzing, whatever it is, it just opens up a lot, whether that's a one-on-one for me and Ahmed or a one-on-one for any of the D tackles either.
I see you with your playoff bound shirt. Just this is an opportunity that decades of Boise State teams could only dream about. How humbling is it to know that you guys have this opportunity and you have the shot to do something that has never been done in Boise State?
It's extremely great. It's the opportunity is amazing. We're extremely blessed to have this opportunity, and just being able to know the fact that, like, we've played in the Fiesta Bowl a few times in the past, and knowing that we have the opportunity to win this game as well as continue to win multiple games and then go to the national championship it's extremely humbling and an extreme blessing for sure.
Thanks.
Colton, we'll go to you.
Yeah, thanks for the time. In regards to Penn State's quarterback's mobility, how kind of tough is it to try and pressure someone when you're also trying to be disciplined and keep them in the pocket? Like, what's your kind of approach there with someone who has that sort of athleticism?
I'd say the biggest thing is just the pocket leverage. Pocket leverage for all 4 of the rushers, or however many people we're blitzing in the whatever pressure it is. Just knowing our pocket leverage and keeping that, and making sure that we know to keep him in the pocket, and then as well as having the mobile quarterback knowing that we need to get him down if he does break our leverage.
Cool, that's it on Zoom.
How close are you and Ty Benfield?
Pretty close. We're actually locker buddies, so we've been super close. We've grown a relationship for the past 2 years, and we're super close.
What have you seen out of him and his growth this year? I mean, he's like young kid. He's only a true sophomore, but what have you kind of seen out of him and his growth?
I mean, I've seen him grow from obviously on the field, but obviously also off the field. He's grown as a person in the facility, a lot more comfortable with the guys and being able to speak up, because he is one of the leaders on the defense, because he does start and he does make a lot of plays. I mean, he's a safety, so he has to communicate with the guys a lot. And I think just seeing him grow from last year to this year, like speaking to the back end as well as the front end on off the field about different adjustments that we need to make and different things like that.
What does it mean for you when you turn around and you see 34 back in the lineup behind you?
Great. I am super excited. I love playing alongside Tubes, and it's fun.
What does he bring? Like, is it a calming presence? Like, you just, I know you guys always say, do your 111, but like, you probably really know like that guy's going to do his 111.
That's one main like it's great. He brings knowing that he's going to do his 111th no matter what it is, whether he has to put his body on the line or not, and then just the physicality, just knowing he's going to bring in physicality no matter what it is, and it's great.
He plays down in the box a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, dude's like 195, maybe 2 bills. You ever watch his highlights and be like, man, like he really does throw it on the line at times.
Yeah, I mean, I watch his highlights and I watch it in person too, and it's still like when you see it, it's just it's crazy seeing that a smaller guy be able to just he has no care in the world, and he's gonna hit whatever he needs to hit.
Great. Thanks, Jake.
Thank you guys.